The opening tip. Trayshawn Thurman and Steve Taylor on the tip, and it's controlled by Omaha. This is Patterson. There's Thurman out high.
Marquette focusing on defensive pressure. They want to really pressure the ball and deny the wings.
Three-pointer won't go. Knocked out of bounds, belongs to Marquette. The visiting lineup here today. And you get a look at Darren Hansen, the head coach. Patterson makes it go from the point guard spot for Omaha. On the drive through the lane. Nicely done.
And that was a wide open drive. The baseline penetration by Tyus. Good quickness with the first step. Gets the right angle for the layup.
Here's Carlino. Carlino playing at the point guard spot. He brings some offensive production to that position. Three-pointer from deep.
Omaha doubling the post and Taylor, which is going to mean guards are going to be wide open for threes as Carlino was there on the first attempt.
Patterson lost it for a moment, and now we get a foul called, and it's going to go against Devin Patterson, first foul of the game. Steve Wojciechowski's lineup. I mentioned Carlino. That's three-point capability from the point. Juan Anderson has been perhaps their best, most complete player thus far. Taylor comes off the big game the other night. Cohen is a freshman.
This Omaha team has good quickness in the perimeter. They also want to pressure the basketball and protect the penetration. They don't want to allow Marquette to get into the paint, especially with their guard screen and roll action.
Taylor the fall away. Taylor gets it back. Now they reload the offense.
Marquette wants to be patient on offensively. No quick shots. Versus Ohio State, they got in some trouble taking quick shots and allowing some runouts by the Buckeyes.
Anderson, Trey on the way. Back tap rebound to Tyus. Mavericks on the run. Tyus forces the action, and it's a goaltending call against Juan Anderson.
And that's going to be one of the themes of the game. We'll talk about that throughout. Defensive transition, as you see Tyus with a nice push. They want to play fast, and they want to get out in the open court and run up and down and try to get easy transition baskets.
We'll talk about it as the game goes along, but they value possessions per 40 minutes on the floor. Runner by Johnson, no good. And here come the Mavericks again. Patterson, the kick out to the wing. And a bumping foul coming up, I believe, on Carlino. It is on Carlino. Three things you need to know about today's game, Tariq.
Well, it starts with transition D for Marquette. They have to get back on defense. As you can see, Omaha wants to push the ball and get out in the open court. They also, the battle of the boards is going to be crucial. Marquette, a smaller lineup. Steve Taylor is their biggest guy on the floor at the 5 at 6'7". And they have sized Omaha, particularly Rostenpour, who's a feisty physical presence. And lastly, tempo. Marquette wants to play more half court. Omaha wants to speed you up and get out in transition. They value the ball more so off the make or the miss running in transition.
This is Cohen manufacturing in the lane. Back the other way come the Mavericks. Carter exploding off the wing. C.J. Carter's first two. Omaha has scored the first 6 points in the game.
And so far, as we said, the things to watch. Tempo, transition, that's in Omaha's favor. We've seen it 3 times. Omaha push the ball in transition and get out and get 3 uncontested layups. So that's what Marquette has to prevent. They came into this game knowing that about Omaha. This is why Omaha is so dangerous. They're scoring almost 90 points a game.
C.J. Carter called for a technical foul, taunting. It's his first and the second on the team.
And we'll see a nice run-out advance pass, and Carter with the body control in the layup. And after the make, he kind of taunts and says something to Johnson, which drew the attention of the officials.
Carlino puts in on a pair at the line, and Marquette's on the board. Marquette struggled with the tempo Ohio State played with on Tuesday night in the second half of that ball game.
They did, and I think the limited depth is an issue, and also the fact that this is kind of a new team. You know, they have Carlino, who's their best playmaker from the guard spot, but they're small, and they don't have the balance that you would like starting out in terms of their inside-out production.
Cohen, the hedge by Rostenpour. And a traveling violation on Juan Anderson.
And there's been no rhythm yet offensively for Marquette. And You have to give Omaha some credit. Defensively, they've been solid. They have not gotten beat off the dribble. And they're controlling the tempo on both ends of the court.
Golden Eagles are +7 on turnover differential, committing just 11.5 turnovers a game in the first two. This is Patterson. Tough match for Carlino. And the pull-up. Nicely done.
He really likes that pull-up off the bounce. Stops on the dime, under control, and elevates.
Almost 3 minutes gone by, first half. On the block, Anderson backing in on the freshman Thurman. And Thurman's got it for Omaha. Carter pulls up for three. Back tapped rebound by Tyus. Patterson records a triple straight on.
Wojciechowski not happy. Getting the game up and getting a lot of shot attempts up, which gives them a chance to score a lot of points. As we said, right now, going into this game, they're scoring almost 90 points a game.
And Tariq, on all 7 possessions, Omaha has shot the ball within 10 seconds into the shot clock. Deontay Burton in off the bench, rims out on that one.
This Marquette crowd is still standing, waiting for their first field goal.
Thurman had it blocked by Burton. Here comes Cohen.
Nice job by Omaha getting back in transition, slowing down Marquette.
For three, the corner tray, no good. Thurman to Carter. Carter splits two, draws contact and a foul. The speed of Omaha having an impact in this ball game early.
Absolutely, and the speed is something that this team thrives on, as we see a good rotation by Burton, cutting off the angle.
Carter at the free throw line. 35th Maverick in school history to record 1,000 career points. He's also top 10 in assists at the school.
It's interesting about C.J. Carter, a local guy, local kid from Omaha, originally committed to Omaha when they were a D2 school, and to his surprise, they're now reclassed as a D1 school, which we'll talk about. But this has been an unbelievable opportunity for the senior guard, who's improved every year.
Omaha scored 12 of the first 14 points of the game. Carlino cut off by Rostenpour at the baseline. Open look for three, ring it up. Finally, a field goal for Marquette. Juan Anderson.
This Marquette crowd can finally sit down as Anderson gets them on the board with a nice three off the catch.
Rostenpour. Carlino in transition for Marquette. But again, the Mavericks back quickly. Early shot selection by Carlino. Rostenpour, the rebound.
I'm not sure if Coach Wojo wants quick shots. He wants them to be patient, 7 or 8 passes, make the defense work, and move the ball side to side.
Thurman. Oh, nice shovel. Rostenpour, a little bit awkward there, and he traveled. It took a while, but the Golden Eagles finally reached the board. The kickout scoring is gone. Almost 60% of the rebounding.
And when you look at those guys that are missing, primarily the size is what you missed. Their front line is all gone, a brand new front line. Much smaller, lack of size is the biggest challenge for this Marquette team.
Marquette resumes offensively. Dwayne Wilson on the floor. Anderson, good catch by Burton and the delivery.
Good set play. They get the cross screen for Burton, who makes the nice runner in the paint.
All freshman team selection to the Big East a year ago. Deontay Burton. Getting the step down the lane. Patterson high off the glass.
Beautiful move. He lofted it high up off the glass to avoid the block shot with a nice touch.
Burton traveled. Marquette turnover is their second of the afternoon.
And this is just good execution out of a timeout. Burton with the screen and roll. Nice little cut to the middle of the paint.
Nice catch on that
runner.
ball.
Yeah.
Into the lineup now, Tim Smallwood for Omaha. Here's Tyus. Rostenpour had it knocked away. That's Burton with his second block, and then the foul by Tyus on the breakout.
Well, that's good to see from Marquette. Burton is being more active and more focused on the defensive end. And this is a young man who's very talented, was all rookie team last year. And we're talking to the coaching staff as we watch the play here. Burton with good quick hands with the clean strip. Gets all ball, and they're off to the races. But to Burton's point, he has to defend. And we talked to Coach Wojo about that. What does Burton need to do to get more minutes? He said he has to guard. He can't just be a one-way player on the offensive end.
Played just 13 minutes the other night at Ohio State. Anderson facing Rostenpour. Open look for the redshirt freshman Dwayne Wilson, and he drains a triple.
Good looking shot by the guard, and it starts with the penetration of Anderson driving and drawing two defenders for an open shot.
Marquette creeping back into it after trailing 12-2. Open look from the corner, and that's a three ball for Ryland Murray, the redshirt freshman, West Branch, Iowa.
And he's instant offense. He's come in off the bench the last couple games and knocked down a couple threes. You have to close out with high hands on him.
Again, Wilson, and again for three. This time out of the corner. Dwayne Wilson out of Dominican High School here in Milwaukee has given Marquette a lift off the bench.
Talented scorer, a combo guard with the scorer's mentality.
Tyus, here's Murray. Rostenpour against Burton.
Nice touch by the big man. Uses the left hand with the jump hook. Good footwork to get some space and get that shot off.
Omaha again by 6. Rostenpour's first 2 points of the game. He had early foul trouble at Seattle, only played 13 minutes. On the drive, Wilson a bit out of control, and here come the Mavericks on the run. Tyus spots up, gets a flyby, sends it down low. Rostenpour stripped out of bounds. I believe it was Johnson who got a piece of that.
Yeah, you know, this is what they want to do. They want to get in the paint, draw and dish, and Anderson, who's a very versatile player as a senior, creates a shot for his teammates, and Dwayne Wilson has come off the bench and given him a lift with his scoring.
Thurman in close over Anderson. That's the freshman, Trayshawn Thurman, good-looking prospect out of Central High School in Omaha. He was a big get for this program. Darren Hansen in his 10th year at the helm, overseeing this transition from Division II to Division I. Juan Anderson giving the open look. Taylor almost tipped that one in, and finally Thurman clears.
The game seems to be slowing down a little bit, which is what Marquette wants. They don't want to get in the track meet. They want to make this a half-court game where they can control tempo.
Oh, nice hands, and the steal and the save. Wilson trying to finish, cannot, but that was Jawan Johnson who started that break.
Well, when your defense can ignite your offense, then that means you're doing good things, and Johnson with the active hands gets the deflection. Heads-up pass. You know, it starts with the deflection. They get out and pressure the basketball, and Dwayne Wilson, one of the quickest guys on the floor with the ball. Now, this is a very creative scorer's mentality guard who is a local guy, redshirted last year, so he's getting his first real live action this year.
Marcus Tyus picked up the foul. It is his second. And as you mentioned, Dwayne Wilson redshirted last year with a foot injury.
I had a chance to see Wilson play in high school where he was one of the better guards in his class. As you mentioned, a local kid, a combo guard with the scorer's mentality, can play the 1 and the 2.
Right.
Certainly could give them a lift in the backcourt with their depth.
1 out of 2 at the line. He's given Marquette 7 points off the bench. The other night at Ohio State, Marquette had just 13 points for the game off the bench.
And that's going to be important, especially until they get their big man back, Luke Fisher, who is not eligible until mid-December. The big man, they need some help off the bench.
Transfer out of Indiana. Smallwood for 3. And the rebound taken by Derek Wilson, the senior point guard for Marquette, coming off the bench. Carlino. Taylor on the block, looking to go to work. Carlino open for 3. Hang it up.
That's good inside-outside action. When you get the ball inside to Taylor, got to be patient. Nice kick out to Carlino for a wide-open 3.
Turnover Mavericks. Here come the Golden Eagles. Cohen in flight is fouled by Thurman. He'll go to the line. When we come back, timeout. Marquette on the comeback, down 4. Marquette has hit 4 of its last 6 field goal attempts. After a slow start, they were 1 for 10 to start the ball game and fell behind 12-2. This is Sandy Cohen, the staff really high on this freshman out of Seymour, Wisconsin. Buzz Williams signed 4 players for his class before leaving, and the only one to honor his commitment was Sandy Cohen. And this staff in place now, really happy with what they see from that freshman.
Well, he's a big guard. He's versatile. He can play the 2 or the 3 and even some 1. They like his confidence, and he's still learning on the job, but he's done some good things defensively as well with his size versus smaller guards.
Derek Wilson, best defensive perimeter player for Marquette on C.J. Carter. Carter shakes loose off the penetration, and a good kick out for 3. You cannot leave him at the arc.
You can, and again, it starts with the penetration. They've gotten broken down. Marquette has several times off the dribble penetration, which has caused the defense to collapse, leaving shooters like Carter open.
Omaha extends the defense, pressuring Sandy Cohen with the trap. Derek Wilson started all of last season at point guard for Marquette. Now Carlino and Wilson kind of interchangeable at the point guard spot. Rostenpour out on the defense, but then Carlino loses on the drive. Here comes Carter exploding to the reverse. No, but a foul.
Wow, he's quick. I mean, with the ball, he's as fast as anyone on the court with the speed. Off the steal, another good push for a transition opportunity.
I'll tell you what, Tariq, these guards for Omaha.
Explosive.
Patterson, Coach Darren Hansen of Omaha was saying Patterson's the quickest player he's ever coached, and Carter's not far behind.
It's a hard matchup for anyone, and you really can't simulate that in practice. Well, look at the speed here. Off the steal,
but then Carlino,
this is a prime opportunity for them to push because the defense is not set. So they have to get back, and certainly Carter is pushing the tempo with the speed.
Carter makes good on a pair at the line. Had 22 against Central Arkansas in the opener, 17 in the loss at Seattle, even though he didn't score until there were just a little over 9 minutes ago first half. Burton on the drive is denied by Thurman, and they call the freshman from Omaha on the foul. His second, 6 on the team.
Burton, who's listed at about 6'4", plays bigger than he is. He's a wide-shouldered, physical presence. Only a sophomore, had a great freshman year. As you can see, all Big East rookie team. Talented scorer, kind of like a bull in a china shop.
He's one of those guys, Tariq, that, he is so good under the rim. You know what I mean? Around the rim, under the rim. He's not a high flyer, but boy, he's a talented athlete and can put forth some explosive dunks. Burton makes good on a pair at the line for Marquette. 5-point lead for the visitors from Omaha. Halfway through first half. Good to have you with us on Fox Sports this afternoon. Patterson the blow by.
And again, the speed and the quickness. He faked like he was going to use the ball screen and rejected it, which he loves to do for a straight lane drive.
Patterson and Carter have combined for 18 points for Omaha in this first half. Open look, Burton for 3. Marquette staying close at the arc. There's a reach by Carlino and a foul.
Here again, he fakes, he goes away from the ball screen, and with a nice inside-out change dribble, kind of froze Carlino, and that allowed him to get to the rim. Here, Burton starting to assert himself on the offensive end with the step-out jumper.
Don't you get the feeling Burton's minutes this year are going to be tied directly to how hard he plays on defense?
No question about it. And that's the Coach Wojciechowski comes from a philosophy under Duke where you have to guard. You can't just be a one-way player to get minutes, and that's what he's trying to teach Burton.
Deontay has the offensive end of it pretty well set. It's the defensive side he needs to get better on. Here's Carter and Rostenpour on the follow.
And again, it's Carter's penetration is causing the biggest issue. His speed, no one's been able to stay in front of him one-on-one.
Exactly.
He causes the defense to collapse off the miss, which allows Rostenpour to get the wide-open follow-up.
Burton again jacks a 3. Not this time.
I have a feeling Coach Wojo doesn't want quick shots like that, even though Burton hit down knocked down the previous one. Show some patience, move the ball side to side, make the defense work.
Marquette on the run off the air ball by Ryland Murray. Cohen slashes to the rim. Burton tipping away. Cohen comes up with it.
Good hustle by the freshman.
Wilson. And now Smallwood backs off defensively. Wilson at the point. Taylor, the high screen. Wilson goes the other way. Burton steps in. And a foul.
And Rostamore, who's been, you see Rostamore right here, seals his man and then goes straight in for the wide open follow-up. But it started with the seal where he had inside position. He's the biggest, most physical guy on the court.
Deontay Burton, production off the bench for Marquette has been big here today. Burton now with 7 points in the game off the bench. Dwayne Wilson has 7 as well. They got that one to go.
Shooter's touch. We'll take it.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
You're right. Shooter's touch.
Still counts.
Deontay has a seat on the bench. Juan Anderson back in for Marquette.
Now Derek Wilson gets a shot at Patterson.
Patterson blows by everybody down the lane and draws contact in the foul. Right now, Marquette really struggling with the speed and quickness out front by Omaha.
Well, that's been the story of the game. And in terms of half court, they have to find a way to do a better job on the screen and roll. Right there, he splits the screen and roll. Great job with the step-through dribble by Patterson.
Foul is on Juan Anderson. His first. Patterson now 10 points. Junior, Portsmouth, Virginia. Darren Hansen, his team. For the first time, he was saying on the recruiting trail this year that he could tell kids, you'll have a chance to go to the NCAA tournament starting next year. Patterson's second free throw is good. It's the 4th year of that transition.
And I can tell you this, Wayne. This backcourt, Carter and Patterson, they're a very, very talented backcourt that can play. Certainly, they're NCAA caliber type talent in terms of their ability to score the ball and use their speed and quickness in the screen and roll.
I'm just watching these guys in the Summit League. These guys are going to be a factor.
Absolutely.
On the curl, Johnson's been quiet today and off the mark there. Rostampour the rebound. Here come the Mavericks. Carter exploding to the rim.
I mean, what do? The transition defense is not there for Marquette. And this backcourt of Carter and Patterson, they just attack. Very hard to slow them down with the speed and the fact that they run off to making a miss.
Omaha, biggest lead has been 10. They're back on top by 9. Taylor, late decision. Juan Anderson thought Steve Taylor, they've taken a shot within 10 seconds. 10 seconds gone by on the shot clock.
That's how they want to play.
Very early.
That's exactly how they want to play. It's a very unique, fast-paced style, and it works for them based on their personnel.
Rostampour step out 3. Cohen the rebound. Marquette started 1 for 10 from the field, then hit 4 of 6. Recently 1 of 5. Derek Wilson takes matters into his own hand, and the senior co-captain scores on the drive.
Wilson, not normally offensive-minded, picks his spots. Good decision by the senior guard, getting into the gaps with the bank.
Smallwood, the hedge, and the switch coming from Anderson. Anderson, the long arms, poked it away. He's in on his own for the jam.
Good anticipation by the senior using that wingspan. He has about a 6'8" wingspan at least. Clean pick. Took his lunch money with the layup.
Solid defense by Dwayne Wilson till he reached in at the end and picked up his second personal foul.
Now we see Marquette getting it done in transition, speeding up the tempo. They're not an up-tempo team, but they will pick their spots, especially when they can run off their defense.
Which they did right there. Marquette back to within 5. They trailed by as many as 10. Off the inbounds, Carter for 3. And a rebound battle down low. Bodies on the floor. And they're calling a foul on Rostampour. Mike Rostampour's first personal foul. That's 8 on Omaha. And again, foul trouble by Rostampour early in the ball game at Seattle led to a blowout loss up in the great Northwest on Wednesday night for these Mavericks.
Well, he's very important to their team because he's their only true big. He gives them an attitude. He's physical, feisty, likes contact, gives them some toughness, and he can score down low with his back to the basket. He has to stay out of foul trouble for them to be competitive.
The Marquette people were telling us when he was out of the ball game, they were a different team. So Again, so much focus on the explosion of these guards, the quickness of these guards for Omaha, but it's that man who just rebounded the missed free throw. Rostenpour up front, who is kind of the muscle. Patterson got in the air in a no man's land. Murray, Rostenpour straight on three, just a bit short. Cohen the rebound. Marquette a chance to get right back into it before halftime. 6 minutes ago, first half. Taylor looks for a three. Halfway down, wouldn't stay. Another rebound for Rostenpour. Hesitation and go, and Patterson beats everybody right down the lane. I mean, he has 12.
He split 3 defenders right there. And again, the speed has been the theme of the game. His speed, along with Carter, has been hard for Marquette to slow down.
Anderson. Here's Derek Wilson, not a big three-point shooter by any stretch of the imagination, although he's worked hard on his shot during the offseason. Rostenpour's got him on a switch, and that's exactly what the point guard should do. Derek Wilson on the drive. He's got 4, and Marquette's back to within 5.
Well, he froze the defense. Good decision by the senior, looking to probe with the penetration.
Randy Reed in the lane, offensive foul.
Wilson making plays on both ends of the court. That's why he's on the court. He's a guy that manages tempo, solid defender, not afraid to sacrifice his body and take the charges. We see right here, good help side defense. Wilson steps right up and takes the contact, turnover.
You know, remember how hard it was to get anything like that called last year? I mean, in terms of block charge. Everything was a block. Nothing was a charge last year. They've changed that emphasis.
Now they're rewarding the defense.
Wilson on the back end. A beautiful look inside by Dwayne Wilson.
So the Wilsons, both Wilsons, Dwayne and Derek, providing the scoring out of the backcourt for the Golden Eagles.
Here comes Derek Wilson. Dwayne to finish for 3. Boy, that would have brought down the house. Rylan Murray the rebound, and now Coach Hansen on the Omaha bench says, hang on, fellas. Let's settle down just a little bit here. Omaha still leading by 3. Their biggest margin was 10 at 12-2. Little weave out front. Carter and Patterson. Rylan Murray gets a flyby for 3. Nicely done.
Good looking shot, and he had the patience to use the shot fake, create some space with a nice pull up off the bounce. The bench.
6-point lead, Omaha. The three-pointer is good. Marquette, they've been playing from behind the entire first half. Dwayne Wilson sets it up.
Omaha now in the zone, in a 3-2 zone, extending out on the perimeter.
Burton the screen. Penetration from Wilson. The runner is good.
And again, the penetration in the gaps. You know, Omaha with an adjustment. They want to force Marquette to shoot the ball from outside, so they go with the zone to protect the paint.
Omaha has some foul trouble they're dealing with. Rostenpour inside in traffic. Had it partially blocked from behind by Burton. Taken by Anderson. Dwayne Wilson to the rim, and he's fouled.
So we're seeing Marquette run opportunistically, and this is a great example. They're running off of their defense. Nice job.
On Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Wayne Larrivee, Tariq Turner back in Milwaukee. Dwayne Wilson at the free throw line has given this club a lift off the bench now with 8 points. Marquette's made 5 of its last 7 from the field to get back into the game. Derek Wilson, you talk about off the bench. This is Dwayne Wilson, the redshirt freshman. Derek Wilson, the senior co-captain, has 8 points off the bench for Marquette.
Well, both Wilsons have played well, and you know, who knows if this is going to be the lineup where both of them come off the bench, but whether they start or not, their ability to score and give them some depth in the backcourt is a big plus for this Marquette team.
2-point ball game, 3 minutes to go, first half. This is Patterson. Picked up by Dwayne Wilson. Patterson, gets the step on everybody. Blocked from behind. I believe that was Juan Anderson. Staying with it is Smallwood, and then from the outside, the kick off
Would you
the
call
front
that a
of the
shooter's
rim
touch or a
and
shooter's
in.
roll?
From downtown, C.J. Carter.
Wow, that was a nice little roll he got there. That didn't look like it was going to go in. It came up short. But when you're a scorer's mentality guard like Carter, sometimes you get lucky.
No shot's a bad shot, right?
No.
Anderson inside, kick out. That's Cohen, the freshman, missed everything. Here comes Patterson. Picked up by the senior, Derek Wilson. Carter at the point at the moment.
He loves calling for that high ball screen and going against the ball screen.
I would too if Rostenpour was the guy delivering the screen. And right there, Carter now 16 first half points for C.J. Carter, the senior out of Omaha.
Well, he's hard to guard because you don't know whether he's going to use the ball screen or go against it and reject it. We've seen him reject the screen twice and score both times.
Burton on the block goes quickly, cut off by Rylan Murray. Wilson open for three. And here comes Smallwood to Carter. Under 90 seconds to go first half. Omaha's led every step of the way.
And this is a point in the game and winding down in the first half where Omaha may be a little more patient, try to control tempo, and go into the half with a lead.
Contest along the sidelines. It belongs to Omaha.
And here we'll see Rostenpour with the high ball screen right here. And instead of using it, Carter goes against it. He goes away from it and rejects it, which kind of freezes Wilson. Carter with that scorer's mentality gets to the rim again.
Patterson shifty. Missed everything from the outside. Rylan Murray ran out of real estate to the baseline. 7-point lead for Omaha. Their biggest margin, 10 points in this first half. Dwayne Wilson's high screen from Anderson. Wilson gets into the lane. Nice dish for Anderson. Good two-man game.
Good patience by Wilson, keeping his dribble, and a nice job by Anderson rolling to the rim for the layup.
Under a minute to go, first half. Again, Patterson. Nice defense there by Dwayne Wilson, who would not allow Patterson to turn the corner. Now Carter out front. One of the few times we've seen Omaha patient at the half court.
Yeah, well, this is winding down, so they want to make sure they get a good shot.
Here's Carter, 5 to go on the shot clock, lost the dribble. Dwayne Wilson on the drive, feeds Anderson. Marquette in transition off defense.
Good decision, good quickness by Wilson with the advanced pass. Anderson runs the floor with the finish.
Marquette back to within 3.
Patterson will hold for one shot. They're going to look for a high ball screen, I'm guessing, with something going to the rim.
Home crowd comes to its feet. Deep 3. Patterson halfway down wouldn't stay as the first half comes to a close. Omaha carried the mail in the first half. And the Golden Eagles needed it off that bench. Just the start of things, second half. Carlino back in. He set out much of that first half of play.
New change in the lineup in the second half. Both the Wilsons in the starting lineup. Gave them a lift off the bench last 20 minutes from the scoring.
This is Dwayne. He lost the handle on it. Rostenpour overplaying and an over and back violation. So it goes to Omaha. Turnover right away. Marquette was pretty good in that department in the first half. Just 5 turnovers. They forced 11. The other night at Ohio State, Steve Wojciechowski's team forced 13 first half turnovers, but only 5 in the second half.
Well, I like the adjustment by putting Dwayne Wilson on Patterson. He's one of the better on-the-ball defenders. Long arms, quick feet. Let's see if he can slow him down.
Meanwhile, Derek Wilson against Carter. That's a good defensive matchup for Marquette there. Derek Wilson, their best perimeter defender. Here comes Carter. Oh, that screen, the fast step, and the ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Marquette.
Well, it's the first step, and then the closeout on Patterson. You can't close out on him so tight because he has the speed to get past you with the quickness. You have to close short with the high hand to make him a shooter with a contested shot.
Tyus to Rostenpour, trying to muscle one up inside. A rebound battle, got a foul call. Fouls against Deontay Burton. His second personal. Marquette, as you mentioned, adjustments in the starting lineup. Well, Dwayne Wilson, Derek Wilson, and Deontay Burton, all of whom started on the bench at the beginning of the ball game, starting the second half on the floor.
Well, I think Coach Wojo is not going to have a team that has a settled, permanent starting lineup. He's going to go off of rhythm, who's playing well, matchups, personnel, and certainly those three guys, Burton and both the Wilsons, have really changed the dynamics of the team in terms of tempo and being able to score and make some plays on both ends of the court.
Today they needed offense. Got off to that slow start. 1 for 10 from the field. Oh, good look inside. Carlino Wilson missed it on the first try, but poked it home on the second. Derek Wilson with 10 points.
Yeah, it was a good look, and Wilson with a good anticipation stayed with the shot with the follow-up.
Marquette back to within 2. This is Thurman, the freshman. Tough shot. Deontay Burton, the rebound. Marquette a chance to tie or take the lead. Derek Wilson sets the floor. This is Carlino. Burton, good look inside. The reverse not there, but Anderson tips it home. Off the miss by Derek Wilson, and we're tied at 45. Patterson got the step and is fouled.
Offensively, things starting to go their way. Burton, an aggressive player, good ball fake, shifts the defense, and Wilson misses the shot, but when he made the play to the rim, the defense collapsed, allowing Anderson a wide open lane.
Carlino takes the back tap. Derek Wilson. Good look, nice, Anderson. Nice. Well done on the bounce. First lead of the afternoon for Marquette.
Great job by Wilson with the penetration, drawing defense in and making a slick bounce pass.
As pretty a dime as you'll ever find. And stepping out of bounds was Tyus. Unforced error, Omaha. Marquette, a chance to add to its first lead of the afternoon.
Marquette playing with some confidence now, and this guy right here, the senior guard, good ball control and seeing the floor. That's one of the things he does well. One of the best assist-to-turnover ratios in the Big East last year. Does a good job of getting the play to his playmakers.
Carlino had it knocked away, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Omaha. You look at Dwayne Wilson coming in, or Derek Wilson, I beg your pardon, coming in, averaged 16 minutes a game thus far in the first 2 games of the season with that knee problem. He had 14 minutes in the first half.
Well, he gives you experience. He gives you some savviness. He also gives you some leadership in terms of his decision-making.
Not to mention a little defense on the perimeter, and they needed that against Patterson.
Absolutely. This is a play they like to run, the UCLA cut. Looking for the penetration.
Anderson had it stripped away by Patterson. The lead for Tyus to finish.
And again, Tyus, who started off the game very aggressive, part of that 3-guard trio. He doesn't get as much credit as Patterson and Carter, but certainly talented enough to score the ball in the open court.
3 minutes gone by in the second half. Dwayne Wilson, he wanted a roll, screen roll with Burton. Burton didn't roll. Tyus intercepts, Thurman finishes.
And again, nobody stopped the ball. His first Tyus with the penetration, but defensive transition. Poor job by Marquette. Thurman beat everyone down the court for a wide open layup.
Coming out of Columbus the other night, that was one of the concerns for Steve Wojciechowski, was his team's transition defense and communicating on that transition defense.
And they worked on it in practice. We saw them, Wayne, in the scouting report.
Dwayne Wilson gives up 3 for 2. 11 for the redshirt freshman out of Dominican High School in Milwaukee.
Well, he's looking for a shot, and he's a guy who can create for himself.
Patterson to Thurman.
This is a fun game to watch and call. I mean, it's back and forth. There's a lot of action, and it's really, kind of a slugfest right now.
Yeah, there are some live bodies out there, both sides. Deontay Burton, the lefty, off the side of the rim, and the rebound, Rostenport. Here come the Mavericks. Carter, pull up 3, ring it up. In rhythm, C.J. Carter, 19 points, leading all scores, and Omaha is spurted back in front by 5.
And we just knew he was going to pull that one. I mean, it didn't matter how deep he was. He had Carlino on his heels. And after he knocks it down, he looked over at us.
Yes, he did. And you specifically. Wilson in and out. Rostampour the rebound. Oh, bullet feed ahead to Thurman. Well done by Carter. Trayshawn Thurman, the freshman, with
up, because when you give up runouts and you give up transition baskets, it hurts your offensive flow, because now you're trying to come from behind. And certainly part of this 12-2 run by Omaha has been their ability to look and get the runouts for wide open dunks.
Almost 5 minutes gone by, second half. Marquette has trailed most of the way here in this game.
And Omaha goes back into the zone. They're playing this 3-2 zone because they want to keep Marquette from getting to the rim. Both Wilsons have been able to penetrate and cause some damage, make them a jump shooting team.
Good look out of the corner. Trey on the way for Cohen. Rebound pried loose by Anderson. Good look to Cohen on the backside.
You know, Anderson's done some good things today. He's a senior who knows how to play, has a knack for the ball, always around the ball, keeps the possession alive with a nice pass assist.
Omaha by 5. Devin Newsom, the freshman point guard. Rylan Murray at the baseline, had it stripped away, got a foul. 14-20. And Connor Oberst from the band Bright Eyes.
And this campus is about 5 miles from Creighton, who is a fellow Big East school located in central Omaha. Talking to the staff, they're building a brand new on-campus arena, which is the first on-campus arena they've ever had. They're excited about that. So this is a transition. This is a transitional phase for Omaha. They're very excited about being reclassed into the D1 ranks, and you know, every year they get more and more good news.
Yeah, they do. They've improved each year of this transition. Almost 6 minutes gone by, second half.
Versus this zone, let's see if Marquette can get the ball into the gaps, particularly the high post, and cause the defense to collapse and get some kickouts for some open layups.
Anderson, Taylor, down low, nicely done.
And that's a way to do it, the high-low action. Anderson very good at the high post area. Nice dump down to Taylor for the layup.
First 2 points of the game for Taylor, who had a career-high 20 at Ohio State Tuesday night. This is such a game-to-game type business, isn't it?
It's almost like a chess match. You know, both coaches adjusting based on the trends of the game.
Carter. Newsom in among the trees, sets up Carter, who took that pass with a foot on the baseline. Turnover, Omaha. They're 13th.
They have. Well, here we'll see a nice bounce pass, but it started with the high-low action, kind of a nice kind of split the double team bounce pass by Anderson, the senior forward, who has the ability to make plays for his teammates at the forward spot.
5-point game. Omaha's led pretty much all the way.
Now Omaha goes back to a man-to-man, so they're switching the defense now. Trying to keep Marquette off balance.
Here's Taylor on the block. 7 to go on the shot clock. Cohen, the runner. And it rims in.
I like the way Cohen used his size to get into the gap, and at 6'5", 6'6", with the runner.
This is Little Dev, freshman out of Shawnee Mission, Kansas. Rostampour, nothing little about him. Nice left-handed move across the lane. He has 6.
Nice sweep-through move. Hard to guard as a lefty, kind of awkward. Really likes that jump hook in the paint.
Devin Newsom guarding Dwayne Wilson. Here's Taylor, watched by Rostampour. They reload to Taylor on the block.
Nice decision.
Corner tray on the way. Dwayne Wilson off the mark, and here come the Mavericks. Carter, a little hesitation to go by Turner. The runner off the baseline by Rylan Murray.
Murray not known for shooting off the dribble, but in rhythm, he gets his feet set with a nice corner pull-up.
Derek Wilson, big step across the lane.
This has been one of the more offensive-minded games I've seen from Derek Wilson. Wouldn't you say, Wayne? Looking for his shot. Scoring within control.
Replacements coming in for Omaha in a moment on the next dead ball. Rostampour against Taylor, takes it over the top. Long rebound taken by Carter. Score it. No, wait a minute.
No, they're going to call
They're
a charge.
going to call a charge on that play.
Nice job by Anderson stepping in.
But take a look at basketball. And the Golden Eagles at the moment down 5 as we near 11 minutes to go in this second half. Anderson, the high screen for Wilson. Dwayne Wilson. Back to Derek.
Omaha now playing a sagging man-to-man. They want to make Marquette shoot the jump shot. They're trying to protect the paint and sag on Taylor.
Dwayne Wilson unable to make him pay. Taylor the rebound. Anderson crashing the boards. Muscles it and one.
Huge rebound by Anderson, who's giving them a big lift with his interior play. A little undersized, but he certainly used his experience, his understanding of angles as he has inside position. Good job gathering himself.
Foul is on Ryland Murray, his second and the second on the team. Juan Anderson for the conventional three-point play. Nope. Taylor trying to keep it alive, and Patterson's got it. Here comes Carter.
That's when he's at his toughest because he has a head full of steam, and Wilson's on his heels. Use a nice hesitation dribble to get to the basket.
Carter and Patterson, the speed of those two guards, been tough to deal with all afternoon. Dwayne Wilson, much more offensive-minded, as you pointed out, Tariq. 14 points for Wilson.
That was nice. Nice little right-to-left crossover. Shift the defense for the wide-open one.
7 of 10 from the floor for Derek Wilson. Tyus, the jab step on Cohen. Tried to thread the needle on the pass. Got it back. Flyby. Patterson authors a three. He hasn't scored in the second half. Had 12 at halftime. Ball loose on the floor. Dwayne Wilson has it. Taylor ahead to Anderson. Oh, beautiful feed. Cohen unable to finish. He's fouled by Ryland Murray.
Great court awareness by Anderson. First we'll see the crossover. Wilson with a nice left to right crossover just freezes Murray. He's been looking for a shot the whole game.
Sandy Cohen, the freshman, to the free throw line. Out of Seymour, Wisconsin. Seymour is up near in the Green Bay area.
And Cohen is talking to the staff. They're excited about him. He has a lot of talent, big guard. The only true freshman, was a top 100 kid coming out of high school.
We'll take a look at it, I'm sure, if we get a chance later on. But Marquette has according to Fox, a top 5 recruiting class coming in for next year. And 3 of the 4 kids they've signed for next year, Tariq, are Wisconsin kids.
And that's great because obviously you want to start local and take care of the talent in your backyard and then expand. Certainly Henry Ellison, a top 5 talent who we'll talk about throughout the broadcast.
Thurman raises nicely. Boy, he's a good-looking freshman. 10 points for Thurman, and he has 8 in the second half.
He is, and he's very, very high IQ type of player.
We mentioned the recruiting class for the Golden Eagles. Henry Ellison really is the jewel of that class.
Yep.
And you get the rating from FoxSports.com. Hanit Cheatham, Noskowiak, and Help complete that class.
Yeah, this is an example of Coach Rojo going to work right away. He hits the recruiting trail. He brings in one of the top players in the country, and that's going to be the foundation of his program next year's class.
Got a hold being called on Devin Patterson, his second personal. 4 team fouls now against Omaha.
We look at Wojo. It's funny. I was telling you, Wayne, Wojo and I go back, and we've known each other since we were 15 at 5-star camp, going up against each other, battling it out. And very proud of him and what he's done at Duke as a player and as a coach, and now he's running his own team.
Dwayne Wilson going after it again, coming up short inside, but drawing contact, and the foul.
Well, Dwayne Wilson's aggressiveness has really put the pressure on Omaha now in the half court because, normally Derek is a guy who manages the game. He's a setup guy. You know, he doesn't look for a shot more, but now you have to respect him because he's attacking off the dribble and looking for his own shot.
You mentioned he worked on his shot during the summer. All right, now wait a minute. That's not the shooter's bounce.
No, that's a toilet bowl roll right there.
I knew you had a point of reference for that kind of shot. When you make a putt like that on the golf course, you say, hey, around the world.
Yeah, you can't call that. It just happens.
And he misses the second. 1 out of 2 at the line for Derek Wilson. 15 points this afternoon for Wilson. Marquette back to within 2. Golden Eagles held a brief 2-point lead early in the second half. On the jam, Wilson called for the foul, reaching in. Derek's first. 14 fouls on Marquette. 8:59 to go. This has been a good one. These kids from Omaha have committed here to the Bradley Center, and they've been competitive, to say the least.
You know, one thing we haven't really talked about is Omaha, they don't play a lot of guys. You know, they play about 7 guys. So these guys, Patterson and Carter, are playing heavy minutes. So far, fatigue has not been a factor.
Smallwood trying to split a couple of defenders, called for steps. That is 16 turnovers for Omaha. It's one thing Marquette has done a good job of, forcing turnovers. In the first 2 games, they averaged 18.5 turnovers forced. They were +7 on the turnover table.
That's how they want to play. They want to pressure. They want to get up on the ball and make you uncomfortable and deny the wings.
Carlino has not played a lot here today. Nice look to Anderson. And the Golden Eagles starting to slice up the Mavericks. Here's the lead for Tyus, slipping inside. Boy, that transition defense, they will run off of makes.
That's right. And that's what makes them so dangerous, because most of the time you're expecting a secondary break where you slow things down. Omaha's in attack mode at all times.
Here's the steal. Smallwood on the drive, in on his own.
Big time finish. A lot of good concentration by Smallwood to get that ball advance off the bounce, avoid 2 defenders chasing him down, and still finish the play.
Transition defense so important, was the point of emphasis for Marquette at their shoot-around this morning here. Communicating on that transition defense. Cohen on the drive. Anderson could not corral.
This is when they're dangerous.
They've got numbers. Smallwood had it poked away. Patterson, the setup. Tyus won't go. Here's Roston. And Rostonpour unable to make it go, but he's fouled. 7:42 to go. Darren Hanson's Mavericks on the lead by 4. At Mark pointed out from the get-go today. And they do a lot of it on the offensive glass. That's a huge number.
Well, that's like, that goes into the possessions. Extra possessions, allowed him to score a lot of points. They average almost 90 points a game, because they kill you in a variety of ways in transition, in the half court, and then on the glass.
This man right here led the Summit League in offensive rebounding last year with 91. He's a big part of that offensive rebounding edge that Omaha has night to night. Rostonpour makes good on a pair at the line. The lead is 6 for the Mavericks. Carlino, deep 3. Anderson had possession of the rebound. Pried loose by Rostonpour. Tyus comes up with a loose ball. Here's Patterson.
Patterson hasn't looked for a shot as much in the second half.
Met by Deontay Burton, knocked to the floor to foul.
And he's always a threat. He's a guy who, as we watch the replay and
watch Rostonpour working on the glass, did not have position.
But that's the size issue right there. He's 6'8", and Marquette's biggest guy on the floor right now is 6'6". Big difference there with the length.
Big Dev, Devin Patterson. He's barely 5'11". Little Dev is, we saw him earlier in the second half. He's the freshman out of Shawnee Mission, Kansas. Number 25 goes 5'9", barely.
Big Dev and Little Dev.
Yes. Big Dev and Little Dev together aren't big.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive when Big Dev is 5'11".
Yeah.
Plays bigger than he is, though. He's really controlled tempo the entire game, playing a solid floor game with the points and the assists.
Since the game was tied, Omaha in that 8-0 run. Time becoming a factor now. We near 7 minutes to go in the game.
Marquette trying to get the ball inside.
Anderson penetrates.
Good recognition. He realized that he had a straight line drive going right, which is his strong side. The seniors play well today.
19 for Juan Anderson, 10 of which have come in the second half. Good ball movement. Patterson, corner tray on the way is good. 17 for Devin Patterson.
Dwayne Wilson got caught with his hands down, and Patterson made him pay for it.
Hands down for a shooter. That's the go sign, isn't it?
That's right. Like Mark Jackson says, hands down, man down.
Burton, good cut and a nice look from Burton, but Dwayne Wilson unable to finish at the rim.
It was a nice backdoor cut, but you have to finish those.
Six minutes to go for the game. Patterson, so dangerous off the bounce. Travel. Couple of possessions, ball movement by the Mavericks.
Well, we've seen Omaha move the ball a little better in the second half. Everybody touches the ball on the perimeter, and Patterson is the man you want to finish that play with the wide open three.
Darren Hansen has had his club ready to play. They came in from Seattle on Thursday afternoon. Here's the steal, near steal by Tyus, and on the they're calling a over and back violation on Marquette.
It looks like Tyus might have got kicked in.
You just hope for the best for Marcus Tyus. Omaha resumes offensively, leading by 9. Under 6 minutes to go. Patterson. Rostenpour for 3. Goodness.
He was dying to make one. He's taken a few threes. That's his first one.
And the biggest lead for Omaha, 12 points. Inside Taylor. Kick out of the corner tray. Not that time for the freshman Sandy Cohen. You have to wonder, with the injury loss of Tyus, how that impacts Omaha.
Well, it's certainly
an emotional standpoint.
Well, I think what's going to happen is Patterson and Carter, they're going to continue to play through them with the screen and roll.
Thurman blocked from behind by Cohen. Taken by Anderson. Derek Wilson. Carlino jacks a 3. Taylor, the rebound up high, got bumped off of the ball by Rostenpour. Well, Taylor had that with 2 hands on it. Rostenpour basically took it away.
Marquette looking to trap a little bit more.
Patterson pulls up short, but he was fouled from behind. After the injury to Marcus Tyus, this is their first possession.
Nice pick and pop. Rostenpour screens and creates space with the pop out. He wanted that one.
Rostenpour last year shot 39% from downtown, so he's capable. And now Devin Patterson at the free throw line, 17 points this afternoon. Marquette down 12, roughly 4.5 to go in the game. Taylor leaves. Deontay Burton back in. They need Burton's offense.
Yep, that's exactly why he's in. You know, right now when you're down 12 points with no rhythm, you need to find some kind of scoring in your lineup.
15-2 Omaha run. 13-point lead, biggest of the afternoon for the visitors. This is Derek Wilson. Burton. Sandy Cohen sliding baseline. Wanted Juan Anderson, knocked out of bounds. I believe Patterson touched it last.
You know, Omaha has consistently played a sagging man-to-man, not focusing on pressure the ball, but more protecting the paint and cutting off driving angles for this Marquette team.
Carlino on the drive. First 2 points of the second half for Matt Carlino. Now pressure in the backcourt by Marquette. Patterson breaks it across, and we've got a foul. Foul is on Cohen, reaching in from behind to knock it away. His first 7 on the team.
And off the make, they continue to push as if it's a rebound. Speed kills. And certainly Patterson and Carter have been the main guys.
But, there aren't a lot of teams that run that way, that explosively off a make by the other team.
Well, it's almost, I won't say impossible, very difficult to even set up a press, which I'm sure Marquette will have to try to do as this game winds down. But, Patterson and Carter both have the ability to split double teams and use their speed to create space and create offensive opportunities.
Patterson making good on the first. 12-point lead, Omaha. And he makes the second as well. 20 points for Devin Patterson. Marquette up against it. Under 4 minutes to go. Wilson manufactures. Derek Wilson with 17.
I mean, look at the speed here. They tried to trap him and were not even.
Offensive foul drawn by Burton. Marquette ball when we come back. Rostenpour dials from downtown.
In the beginning, with their speed and their quickness, getting to the rim, uncontested layups, and really putting the pressure on Marquette's defense with their three-point shooting prowess and their attack mentality.
Derek Wilson working on a career high with 17 points and a foul on the backcourt. Foul coming up on Tim Smallwood, his first.
This Marquette team, as they try to fight back from an 11-point deficit, the question is, do they have the firepower offensively to come back?
That's it.
And that's something that we'll have to watch closely. But I think, you're watching Carlino, who comes in as a scorer. He struggled today. He hasn't been able to find his rhythm offensively. So where is it going to come from? I think Juan Anderson, who's been active, has to continue to assert himself along with both the Wilsons. 9
for the veteran Carlino, graduate student in the Leadership Studies graduate program here at Marquette. Now full court pressure by the Golden Eagles as you anticipated.
And they just wave everyone down, which is smart because, there's no need to draw help. Let Patterson just bring it up and set the offense.
This is Patterson. Picked up by Carlino. This has been a tough matchup all day.
It has. And the screen and roll has really affected Marquette's.
Patterson gets right by Anderson. That's a tough cover for Juan Anderson, the 6'6 forward.
Well, he went right past Carlino, and then the second line of defense was Anderson, where he just got it right off the top of the glass for an easy one.
Burton on Rostenpour. And that's what he can do. Deontay Burton has 10.
Hey, he's a bull, and he has a way of getting to the basket over taller opponents with his strength.
Under 3 to go. Marquette down 9. Devin Patterson, these guards have been so exploited. Jacks a tray. And the rebound taken by Carlino. Carlino on the drive, set up Anderson. Yes, and a foul. Yes, it counts.
And that was a great job by Carlino in transition, drawing the defense in. And that's the speed right there and the good court awareness, body control, and he's an experienced guard who knows how to make plays for his teammates.
Foul was on Smallwood, his second. Juan Anderson. And Marquette at this stage could ill afford to miss a free throw.
That's right.
And they miss one. 7-point ball game.
And now let's see if Omaha kind of pulls back on the quick shot action and maybe works some clock.
Here comes Carter. Thurman gets the step. Nicely done. Well, you've got to wonder now, Omaha, this might be one of the biggest wins in their program's history. They play on
the nerves by this group. Look at this. Look at their face. Look at their body language. Look at their leadership from Coach Hansen. The guard play of Carter and Patterson has given this team confidence.
They have played with confidence. You're exactly right. Those guards have set the tempo. Carlino for 3. Boy, they could have used that. Anderson keeps it alive.
Nice job saving it.
Derek Wilson. Carlino, nice shovel to the baseline. Deontay Burton, the flush. He has 12. Not over yet, not by a long shot.
A lot of time left, and it starts with the angle for Carter and Patterson to make a decision whether it's a pull-up or a drive.
Rostenpour is like a brick wall, isn't he? When they take it around him.
They try to get the trap here.
Double team. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Dwayne Wilson.
So what you want to do if you're Marquette is first go for the deny. If they get the ball in bounds, Omaha, you want to keep the ball on the sideline and look for a trap and use the sideline as your third defender. You want to keep the ball out of the middle.
Thurman on the inbounds. Carlino reaching in gets called for the foul. That would send us C.J. Carter to the line. Fourth personal on Matt Carlino. 9 fouls on Marquette. 8 fouls on the Mavericks in the second half. And Carter heads to the free throw line. 4 for 4 from there. 35th Maverick in school history to score 1,000 career points. He doesn't miss a lot of free throws.
Local kid.
Almost
certainly
80% from the line a year ago. And he makes a pair. 23 for him. And Omaha on top by 9. Omaha 18 of 20 from the line. Carlino lost the handle on it. And here come the Mavericks. Carter, the alley-oop, the Thurman knocked away. Chased down to the corner by Smallwood. It gets it to Rostenpour and a timeout called.
Good decision by Rostenpour, and you see the emotion right here.
Omaha on the verge of something big. We mentioned this might be one of the biggest wins ever in the history of Omaha basketball on this level, certainly. They've been a Division II school, transitioning into Division I, and got a foul committed by Dwayne Wilson.
Coach Wojo instructing his team to foul. Yep. Even though Carter hasn't missed a foul shot, you want to give yourself a chance and hope he misses and stop the clock.
So Carter at the free throw line. Misses the first.
So regardless what happens here, you need a quick push. If you're Marquette, you don't have time. Take the first available shot you can get.
All right, here they come. Now down 10. Wilson, Burton, left alone for 3. Had time to measure it. Measured a bit long. Anderson fighting for the rebound and the turnaround, and then the foul committed against Smallwood as Smallwood retrieved the errant shot.
Very good no foul, very good discipline by Omaha not to foul. They begged or dared Burton to shoot that 3, and then they blocked out and got the rebound.
They were drubbed at Seattle Wednesday night, 98-74. The Mavs really never in that game. Rostenpour had early foul trouble and eventually fouled out after playing just 13 minutes in that game. He's been eligible for the whole game here, and it's made a big difference. But these guards have sliced up the Golden Eagles this afternoon. Their quickness and speed, not just in the open court, but exploding off the wings in the half court.
One player we haven't mentioned who's out with the injury is Jake White, another talented piece of their big front line, transferred from Wichita State. When he comes back, they'll be even more dangerous, according to the coach.
Under a minute to go. Carlino, deep 3. In desperation, he finds the range. Timeout Marquette, 3-pointer.
Of Carter and Patterson. They also do a good job of helping each other by moving without the ball, screening, and they're all good passers.
Full court pressure. Ball comes loose, no foul. And Dwayne Wilson able to scoop it in.
Yeah, they got a good trap on Carter.
7-point ball game.
Carter into a turnover.
Patterson nearly turned it over there. Will belong to the Mavericks.
And this is just a good trap right here by Burton.
Well, here comes Carter as he escapes. He's fouled from behind.
That'll be it for Carlino.
Carlino leaves with 12 points. We mentioned biggest win in the history of Omaha basketball. Well, if they hang on here this afternoon, it would be their first win ever against one of the Power 6 conference teams.
And we also have to mention, in terms of Marquette being small and not really deep, not having a rim protector, a frontline guy, a true big, has obviously played in Omaha's favor because Carter and Patterson have made a living today getting to the rim. Certainly when you get a guy like Luke Fisher back in the lineup in December, that can help them with his size at 6'11".
Final 30 seconds. Dwayne Wilson on the penetration. Got a foul called on Omaha.
Well, if you're Omaha, you're probably better off not fouling because now you give Marquette a chance to stop the clock and set up their press if Wilson makes these 2 foul shots.
You're looking at Trayshawn Thurman. He was the guilty party in the foul. He also took a shot as well, so he got the double whammy. Not only did he absorb the physical aspect of it, but he also was called for the foul. Now Dwayne Wilson at the free throw line. 3 out of 4 this afternoon, make it 4 out of 5 for Wilson.
Well, he's been a bright spot. Wilson coming off the bench gave them a lift, Wayne, and obviously started the second half. This is what you want to see from your young talented guard.
I want to ask you about Steve Taylor. He had the game at Ohio State, a career-high 20 points. Not a factor in this ball game. Is that because it was a different type of game?
Well, they did a good job on him. They doubled him when he got the ball in the post, and he's not a true back-to-the-basket player. So I think they took him out of his rhythm by double-teaming him, making him a passer instead of a scorer.
25 seconds ago, they get the foul to stop the clock. Sandy Cohen picks it up. 93-87, 25.5 remaining. But the Golden Eagles have to hope for some misses at the free throw line by the Mavericks. And Devin Patterson heading to the line.
When you have guards this talented, this dangerous, that can score and also make their foul shots, very hard to stop.
Patterson now with 23 points, a career high for him. 7 of 8 at the free throw line for Patterson. 23 of 27 for the visitors. And that's what you have to do when you're an underdog playing on the road.
Absolutely.
Make your free shots. Wilson squares up for 3 and a partially blocked Anderson puts it back. 23 for Juan Anderson. Timeout. Taken by Marquette. 18.1 9-23. 18.1 remaining. Ryland will inbounds. Ryland Murray on the inbounds. 8-0 run by Omaha after that 66-all tie. And the Mavs have played on the lead since. Murray on the inbounds. Patterson able to break it across. And he is fouled.
And good recognition by Murray. He saw the Marquette defenders cheating up, so he lobs it over the defense to a spot where Patterson could catch and make something happen.
So Devin Patterson back at the free throw line, where he is 9 of 10 today.
I've been trying to figure out which one between Patterson and Carter is faster. I have to say maybe Patterson by just by a nudge, but certainly it's like 1 and 1A. Both of those guys, their speed has really overwhelmed Marquette.
It really has. Well, Darren Hansen, who should know, the head coach of Omaha, says Patterson's the fastest player he's ever coached. And he makes good on a couple of daggers at the line. And Omaha leads it 97-89. Burton steps into a 3, comes up short, and it'll go back to the Mavericks. A big win for Omaha in the development of this program. Omaha out of the Summit League. And they will dribble it up. Patterson takes it into the front court, and it was the guards who did it to Marquette here this afternoon. Coach Hansen, Coach Wojciechowski.